Hi, in today's video I'm going to take a look at using MPV to pipe videos into an OBS Studio media source using a named pipe. What this will allow you to do is play a local file or a remote video and stream it into OBS Studio, and additionally set a start and end point for the clip that you want to play. This will also work with all of these sites supported by yt-dlp, which MPV uses in the back end. So what I'm going to do is switch across to the Magpie channel, and I'm going to show you playing a YouTube video and then also playing a local video as well. So what I'm going to do is copy the URL from over here, and of course what you can do is come across here and do copy link. What I'm going to do is actually show you another little tip. If you're using the Vimium browser extension that allows you to scroll up and down using your HJKL keys, it has a feature where you can press F on the keyboard and it comes up with an overlay showing letters next to each link. And when you type the letters, it will open that link in a new tab. But what you can also do, which is really helpful, is you can press YF, and you can now see we get the links come up. And if I press L on the keyboard here, what it's going to do is it's going to yank that URL to the clipboard. That's a little handy tip. So what I'm going to do now is switch across to the terminal here, and I'm going to run a script I wrote called relay-mpv that actually makes this process easier and automates it. Because what we're going to do is actually create a named pipe and pipe all the video from MPV into OBS Studio's media source. So the video is not going to be displayed on your screen. It's going to be output into a named pipe, and the OBS Studio then has a media source with the path to that named pipe in it. And named pipes only work on Linux and Unix, so Linux, Unix, and Mac OS. Windows doesn't have named pipes, so you're out of luck, I'm afraid. So what we're going to do is run relay-mpv -h, and what that does is that gives us the options, and these are the options we have to use: -i for the input, -s for the start time, and -e for the end time. So relay-mpv -i, single quotes, put in the URL, and we have to specify the start and end time. So if you want to play a full video, you need to specify the start and the end time of the video, which is obviously the duration. So what we're going to do is run start hours, minutes, seconds. So that's going to start at the beginning of the video. And what we're going to do is specify an end time that's going to be hours, minutes, seconds. So this is going to play from 0 to 10 seconds, and then it's automatically going to stop. So what I'm going to do is switch across to, I'm going to press return here, and I'm going to switch across to OBS and change to the media source with the named pipe in it, and MPV is now going to play that remote URL for 10 seconds and stream it into OBS Studio. Right, so here we go. So, because it's, there we go. And as you can see, it automatically stopped after 10 seconds. So, and as I said, the advantage of this is you can play either local files or remote files, and MPV uses yt-dlp in the back end. So what this means is any video that can be played with MPV, including all of the, I think it's over 1,000 supported sites on yt-dlp, can be streamed into OBS Studio. And the advantage of this is you don't have to have multiple media sources set up. You can just have one media source with a named pipe and actually pipe stuff into it. So what I'm going to do now is pipe a local file. So what I've got here is the sneezing panda, and if I run ffmpeg-i sneezing panda, we can actually see the duration. So the duration is about 18 seconds. So what I need to do in the script, specify a start time of 0 and an end time of 18. So relay-mpv-i sneezing panda start 00, end time 18, and I'm going to press return, switch across to the media source, and it will play the video. Wait for the sneeze. It's coming. And as you can see, it automatically ends when the video has stopped. So how do we set this up? Right, so the two parts, there's the script and the setup in OBS Studio. So what I'm going to do is just switch across here, and what I need to do is actually demo how to set up the media source while I'm capturing OBS Studio. So come across here, click media source, add new media source, and what we're going to do is actually check hardware decoding. We're going to check this. So what this will allow us to do, we uncheck local file, and we can then put in a path. So we just put in temp relay. Okay, so uncheck local file, put in temp relay, hardware acceleration. I usually do close file when inactive, and it's not going to be seekable, and then just click OK. So that's the actual media source. So if I do the same thing now, if I run the command again, what's going to happen is it's going to come up in this source here. Hang on. Or maybe it's okay. Yeah, you can see it. I haven't set up the thingy, if you know what I mean. So you can actually see it coming out real size, overlaid on top of the existing scene there. Okay, so I can just press Q here and it's going to quit it. So that's how we set up the media source. I'll just delete that. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is switch across here and show you the code. So this is the script. It's a POSIX shell script, so it's a bin-sh. So what we have here, relay a stream to a named pipe with MPV. We've got the script usage, which comes up when you run relay-mpv-h. It will display this help message. We have some error messages here. Check number of arguments passed to the script. We have get ops. And what this does is basically these are the options, the -i, the -s, and the -e options that you run on the command line. So you can see here -s, -i, -e, and -h for help. So what this does basically is when you run, for example, -i and give it a input, whether it's a local file or URL, it's going to create a variable called input, which is going to be equal to whatever you've passed in after the -i argument. Same deal with the -s. Start is going to be equal to the start time, and the end variable will be equal to the end time. Okay, so then what we have here is we have the bit of code that creates the named pipe. So what we do is we got this function here. So -p temp relay. What does that mean? So you may be familiar with the -f option to check if a file exists. The -p option is used to check if a pipe exists. So we check if the pipe exists. If it does, we don't do anything. But if it doesn't, we run this bit of code. So this is an either or, basically. So if the pipe exists, don't do anything. But if it doesn't, it's going to run make FIFO temp relay to create the pipe. Then what we have here is the actual pipe command here. So what this is this is a function called mpv pipe, and what you can see here is it's running mpv. And what we're doing here, first of all, is --config directory equals dev null. Why are we doing that? So the issue is I have, if I come across to my mpv config mpv, what you can do in mpv is create what are called conditional automatic profiles that will match a particular URL and then apply particular settings to that video. So you can see here I've got a profile for YouTube that uses hardware acceleration and automatically opens it on the second screen. The problem is there's no way to override the automatic profile, okay? So if I was just trying to use this, what kept happening was I was running the script and it was actually playing the video. It was using this automatic profile. So the way we get around that is by specifying a config directory of dev null. So basically we say don't use our existing mpv config. There is I think there used to be a no config option, but that's been removed. So we set the config directory to dev null so that it doesn't pick up our existing mpv config and use the automatic profiles. We set the out to temp relay. We've got some stuff for here for raw video, PCM, audio, and then the start and the end time. And then basically at the end, we just run the function mpv pipe. So what this basically does is, you can see here we've got 3 variables: start, end, and input. So those variables correspond to what you pass on the command line: the start time, the end time, and the input file or the URL. Pretty simple. So that's the script. And that's how it works. You just set up a media source in OBS Studio, and then you can run the command on the in the terminal, and it will pipe in whatever video file you select, local file or remote file. One thing to note is what seems to happen is you actually have to be you have to have the source open when you play, so you don't seem to be able to use the studio mode to sort of queue it up. You've actually got to be on the source when you press return in the terminal, because otherwise it won't flow through, because there's nothing open at the other end in OBS Studio, if that kind of makes sense. So that's basically the gist of it. I'll switch back across here. We'll do the local file. So there's the local file, and as you can see, the local files will kick in a lot quicker than the remote files, because there's no, it's not looking up the network or anything. I can just press Q there to stop that. It's going to stop. And what I'll do is I'll just rerun the Magpie channel 1. So there is a delay when it's a remote file of a couple of seconds. So I've just pressed return, and it's going to kick in now. There's Matty. And it ends. So this is really useful because suppose you've got a load of, online clips you actually want to pipe into OBS Studio. This allows you to specify a range in the clip that you want to play. So rather than kind of like opening up a video, scrolling, in the video, pressing play, and then stopping it, oh god, it's, that I want to stop it after 30 seconds. So you got to sit there, watch the video, queue it up, press start, wait for 30 seconds or whatever, and then stop it. It's a bit of a pain. Yeah, so what this allows you to do is actually either grab the local, acquire the file in quotes, that you want to play and use it locally. But as I said, suppose you've got a really long video of like a couple of hours or something, but you just want to grab a small chunk of it to display. This will allow you basically to specify a start and end time and pipe that video into OBS Studio. So I'll put links to all this under the video and a link to the script, and hope that helps out.